There's a quiet fear many people carry as they get older, the fear of slowly losing themselves. You wake up one morning and the words don't come as quickly, the letters on the page blur, or the headlights on the road feel blinding. It can feel like the sharpness you once relied on is slipping away. But here's the part most people don't realize. Much of this isn't inevitable decline. It's your body calling out for nourishment it's been missing for years. And sometimes the most powerful answers aren't in a prescription bottle, but in the simplest foods. Seeds you may already have in your kitchen. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Ageless Garden. Today I want to share with you 4 tiny seeds that can quietly go to work while you sleep, helping to restore memory, protect your eyes, and bring back the clarity you thought was gone. When I sit across from my patients, one of the most common frustrations they share isn't just about aches or fatigue. It's the quiet fear of losing mental sharpness and the ability to see clearly. I remember one woman, Elaine, 71 years old, who told me, "Dr. Brian, I used to love sitting by the window at dusk with a book, but now the words swim and my thoughts feel sluggish by morning." What Elaine didn't know at the time, and what so many people are never told, is that something as simple as flax seeds could help change her experience. Flax seeds are small, often overlooked, but they're one of nature's richest sources of a nutrient called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Now, I know that sounds like a mouthful, so let me explain it simply. ALA is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Think of it as the building material for the walls of your brain cells and the tissue of your eyes. Without enough of it, those walls become stiff, fragile, and less able to send signals smoothly. It's like trying to talk on a phone line filled with static. The message eventually gets through, but it's distorted and slow. Your retina, the paper-thin layer of cells at the back of your eye, is actually the most metabolically active tissue in your entire body. That means it needs constant nourishment, especially from omega-3 fats. In fact, over 60% of the retina is made up of fat, much of it omega-3 based. Yet as we age, our bodies lose efficiency at converting plant-based ALA into its more active forms, DHA and EPA. This inefficiency leaves the brain and eyes starving for the very oils they need to stay supple and functional. The good news is, even though the conversion isn't perfect, a steady supply of flax seeds can still make a measurable difference. For the eyes, studies have shown that omega-3 intake reduces oxidative stress and inflammation in the retina, 2 of the biggest drivers of age-related macular degeneration and the kind of blurry night vision that makes driving after dark so unnerving. Omega-3s also help keep blood flowing to the optic nerve, ensuring that your vision doesn't just stay clear, but sharp and responsive. For the brain, the role of ALA is just as profound. Every brain cell is surrounded by a delicate membrane. When that membrane is flexible, neurons can talk to each other easily. Memories are retrieved quickly. Words come to the tongue with ease. But when membranes become stiff from inflammation or a poor diet, that communication slows. People describe it as brain fog, slower recall, or even a change in mood. A review published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2021 found that seniors who consumed omega-3s consistently showed better working memory, lower inflammation in the brain, and slower overall cognitive decline. That's a powerful reminder that it's never too late to make changes that matter. Now here's where practicality comes in. Whole flax seeds often pass straight through the digestive system untouched. They look the same coming out as they did going in, which means you didn't get the nutrients at all. To unlock their power, they must be ground. A simple coffee grinder, or even buying pre-ground flax meal, does the trick. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons daily can deliver a therapeutic dose of ALA. Elaine took that advice to heart. She started sprinkling freshly ground flax into her evening yogurt, sometimes blending it into a smoothie before bed. Within just a few weeks, she told me she noticed something subtle but encouraging. Her eyes no longer felt strained when the sun went down, and in the mornings, she described her mind as lighter, as if the fog had lifted just enough for her to feel herself again. That small shift gave her the confidence to pick up her evening reading habit once more. That's the quiet power of flax seeds. They're not flashy. They won't give you an overnight miracle. But night after night, spoonful by spoonful, They help your body repair itself the way it was always meant to, by nourishing the tissues that keep you thinking clearly and seeing the world in focus. If flax seeds are the quiet builders of your brain and eyes, then chia seeds are the water carriers. These tiny black and white seeds have an almost magical ability to hold on to moisture, absorbing up to 12 times their weight in water. When you soak them, they swell into a soft gel, almost like a natural sponge. But here's why that matters. Hydration is one of the most overlooked keys to keeping both your brain and your eyes functioning at their best, especially as you get older. You see, as we age, our bodies lose water faster and our cells become less efficient at holding on to it. This isn't just about dry skin or stiff joints. It goes deeper. Your eyes rely on surrounding fluids to stay lubricated, since the cornea doesn't have its own blood supply. When hydration dips, the eyes can dry out, blur, or even become more vulnerable to long-term damage. For the brain, even mild dehydration can shrink tissue, slow neurotransmitters, and leave you waking up with that groggy, sluggish feeling. What many of my patients describe as starting the day in first gear. One of those patients was Henry, a 68-year-old retired math teacher. He came to me frustrated, saying, "I wake up every morning and it feels like my eyes are burning, and my brain doesn't catch up until I've had 2 cups of coffee." What Henry didn't realize was that he wasn't just tired, his cells were thirsty. When we added chia seeds to his evening routine, everything changed. He started making a simple chia pudding, just soaking a couple of tablespoons in milk overnight. Within 2 weeks, he told me something remarkable. "Dr. Brian, I can read the morning paper without reaching for my eye drops, and I feel awake before my coffee." That's the power of hydration at work, slowly, quietly throughout the night. Now, hydration isn't the only gift chia seeds offer. They're also rich in antioxidants like quercetin and caffeic acid, which calm inflammation in the delicate surface of the eye. They contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 compounds known to filter harmful blue light and protect the retina. These are the same compounds found in leafy greens, but chia gives you another way to deliver them directly where your eyes need them most. For the brain, chia's benefits come not only from water, but also from its mineral content. Inside those seeds are magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins, the very cofactors your brain cells rely on to transmit signals, form memories, and stabilize mood. Think of it like giving your neurons both the electricity and the wiring they need to keep your mind sharp. Science backs this up. A randomized trial published in the Journal of Food Science and Nutrition found that adults over 60 who consumed chia daily reported better hydration, fewer complaints of dry eyes, and clearer thinking within just 1 month. And while I've seen the numbers in studies, it's the real stories, like Henry's, that bring those statistics to life. Chia seeds are also incredibly easy to use. You don't need to grind them like flax. Just soak them in water or milk for a few hours, and they form that gel-like pudding. You can add cinnamon, berries, or even a spoon of yogurt to make it enjoyable. If pudding isn't your style, stir them into smoothies or sprinkle them over salads. The key is consistency, especially before bed, when your body shifts into repair mode and hydration is most valuable. When you think about foods to improve eyesight, chia seeds might not be the first that come to mind, but they deserve a spot at the table because they don't just support vision, they support the entire ecosystem of your brain and nervous system. They hydrate, protect, and nourish, giving your body what it so often lacks in the later decades of life. And the best part? It doesn't take much. Just 2 tablespoons in the evening can set the stage for clearer vision, steadier thinking, and mornings that feel refreshed instead of foggy. For something so small, chia seeds carry an outsized power, the kind of quiet, dependable support that lets you reclaim confidence in your health one night at a time. Of all the seeds we'll talk about, pumpkin seeds might be the most underestimated. They're small, easy to snack on, and often thought of as nothing more than autumn leftovers. Yet inside those green kernels lies a pair of minerals that your eyes and brain are desperate for: zinc and magnesium. Without them, the very systems that allow you to see clearly and think sharply begin to stumble. Let me explain. Your retina, that paper-thin layer at the back of your eye that captures light and turns it into images, contains one of the highest concentrations of zinc in the entire body. Zinc acts like a gatekeeper. It helps vitamin A create melanin, the pigment that shields your eyes from light damage. It also supports the enzymes that allow you to see in low light. That's why one of the earliest signs of zinc deficiency is trouble with night vision. If you've ever felt nervous about driving at dusk, squinting through glare from headlights, or struggling to adapt when the sun goes down, your body may be quietly telling you it needs more zinc. This isn't just theory. The landmark age-related eye disease study, known as AREDS, found that zinc combined with antioxidants slowed the progression of vision loss in older adults. In plain language, people who nourished their bodies with zinc kept their eyesight steadier for longer. That's the kind of research that makes me sit up as a physician because it tells us food really can act as medicine for the aging eye. But zinc doesn't stop at the eyes. In the brain, it plays a pivotal role in neuroplasticity, the ability of your brain to form new connections and repair itself. It helps regulate a growth factor called BDNF, which is essential for memory, focus, and learning. When zinc is low, I often see patients struggle with mental fatigue, slower recall, and mood swings they can't quite explain. They don't feel like themselves anymore, and yet the fix may be as simple as restoring a mineral their body has been quietly missing. Now let's talk about magnesium, zinc's close partner. Magnesium is like the body's natural relaxant. It calms blood vessels, supports healthy circulation, and even helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle. Low magnesium means reduced blood flow to the brain and eyes, which can translate to brain fog, strained vision, or restless nights. Several studies, including a 2018 review in the journal Nutrients, have linked magnesium with better memory retention and improved processing speed in seniors. I've seen it firsthand. Patients who replenish magnesium often describe feeling lighter, clearer, or more at ease, especially after years of tossing and turning. Pumpkin seeds deliver both of these minerals generously. Just 1 ounce, about a small handful, provides nearly 20% of your daily zinc and over a third of your magnesium. And the beauty is, they require no complicated preparation. Eat them raw, roast them lightly, sprinkle them over salads, or blend them into smoothies. It's nutrition that feels effortless. I think of Paul, a 66-year-old retired engineer who came to me embarrassed. He said, "Dr. Brian, I keep forgetting names, and the glare from headlights has me avoiding evening outings altogether." Instead of overwhelming him with supplements, we made one simple change: 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds before bed. Within a month, Paul told me he felt like his brain was waking up again. He remembered names more easily, and while night driving still wasn't his favorite, it no longer terrified him. That small handful of seeds gave him the confidence to rejoin friends for dinners he'd been quietly avoiding. That's the quiet, life-changing gift of pumpkin seeds. They don't just fill you up, they restore what's missing. They give your eyes the zinc they need to handle the dark, and they give your brain the magnesium it craves to stay calm and sharp. For seniors searching for foods to boost eye health and protect memory, pumpkin seeds are one of the most practical, affordable, and powerful tools you can use. If flax seeds are the builders, chia seeds are the water carriers, and pumpkin seeds the protectors, then sunflower seeds are the shield. Their superpower lies in a nutrient many of us have heard about but often overlook: vitamin E. This fat-soluble antioxidant is one of the most important guardians your eyes and brain have, yet it's one of the most common deficiencies I see in older adults. Think of vitamin E as the armor that coats your cells. Every single nerve cell in your brain and every light-sensitive cell in your retina is wrapped in delicate membranes. These membranes are constantly under attack, from free radicals, from UV rays, from everyday wear and tear. Without enough vitamin E, that protective shield weakens, leaving your tissues vulnerable to oxidation, which accelerates aging and decline. With vitamin E, however, those same tissues can stay resilient, flexible, and capable of repair. The eyes are especially dependent on the shield. The retina is one of the most metabolically active parts of the body, using enormous amounts of oxygen every second. That high demand makes it particularly prone to oxidative stress. Over time, this stress is what contributes to age-related macular degeneration and vision loss. But vitamin E steps in to neutralize those harmful free radicals before they can do damage. In fact, studies published in the Archives of Ophthalmology have shown that higher vitamin E intake is linked to slower progression of macular degeneration. The brain, too, relies on vitamin E's protective effect. The neurons that allow you to recall names, solve puzzles, and follow conversations are coated in fatty layers that keep signals fast and precise. Without enough vitamin E, those fatty layers stiffen or break down, slowing communication. Clinical trials, including one from the Journal of the American Medical Association, found that vitamin E supplementation slowed cognitive decline in people with memory disorders. But here's the key insight. Natural food sources like sunflower seeds are often more effective than synthetic supplements because the vitamin comes packaged with other compounds that help the body absorb and use it properly. One of my patients, Martha, a 72-year-old grandmother, discovered this firsthand. She came to me distressed, saying, "I used to read every night before bed, but now the words blur and I lose my place constantly, and even my crossword puzzles feel harder." We added a simple routine, a quarter cup of sunflower seeds in the evening, sometimes sprinkled over yogurt, sometimes eaten plain while she watched her favorite shows. Within a month, she called me smiling. "Dr. Brian, I finished an entire book without getting lost, and I breezed through my crossword this morning." It wasn't a miracle, it was nourishment, plain and simple. The beauty of sunflower seeds is how accessible they are. A single quarter cup serving delivers over 75% of your daily vitamin E. They're inexpensive, portable, and versatile. You can eat them roasted, raw, mixed into a trail blend, or blended into a spread like sunflower butter. Unlike pills that feel like chores, sunflower seeds are a pleasure to eat, and that consistency is what brings results. For anyone searching for foods to improve eyesight naturally, sunflower seeds should be near the top of the list. They don't just shield the eyes from degeneration, they stabilize brain function, support memory, and keep the aging process from stealing away your clarity. And because vitamin E is fat-soluble, having it in a natural food form ensures it gets absorbed alongside the natural oils in the seed itself, making it even more effective. When you think about it, sunflower seeds embody hope in the most literal way. They take the sunlight they're named for and transform it into nourishment that lets you keep seeing, thinking, and living with independence. That's a gift worth cherishing, one handful at a time. Now you might be wondering, how do I actually put this into practice without making it complicated? The truth is, it's simpler than most people imagine. The key is consistency, not perfection. Each evening, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, choose 1 to 2 tablespoons of any of these seeds. You can rotate them throughout the week or mix a few together. The goal isn't to overwhelm yourself, but to give your body a steady stream of the nutrients it needs to repair while you sleep. The preparation can be as simple as stirring ground flax into yogurt, soaking chia for a quick pudding, sprinkling pumpkin seeds over oatmeal, or enjoying sunflower seeds by the handful. Think of it as a nightly ritual, a small but powerful signal to your body that you are choosing nourishment and healing. Over time, these tiny steps add up to lasting clarity, energy, and independence. The beauty of these seeds is not just in their nutrients, but in the hope they carry. Every handful is a reminder that it's never too late to protect your vision, sharpen your memory, and reclaim the independence you deserve. Healing doesn't always come in the form of a prescription. It often begins with small, everyday choices. Seeds are simple, affordable, and powerful. So tonight, when you sit down for your evening snack, remember, your body is ready to repair itself, if only you give it the right tools. Stay consistent, stay hopeful, and keep growing younger at heart.